So my style mapo tofu is using Lee Kum Kee's chili garlic sauce if you have it. If not, I do a combination of this Japanese garlic chili sauce or a combination of the chili crisp oil with the Japanese garlic sauce, but I prefer definitely the chili garlic sauce because it has garlic and I like garlic. And all I did was toss it in the pan, definitely spiciness depending on your own level, and these 3 blocks are actually ground bison beef. Mapo tofu is typically pork, but I'm a person who likes beef, so that's my style. And basically, right now, just toss in the oil. No need for extra oil. Sauce has enough oils as it is, and just cook and stir until it's browning. And then afterwards, it's when you add the tofu of various degrees of firmness, soft, medium, and firm. Firm so that it goes, cook first so it doesn't really disintegrate, and soft to give it that nice silky texture. And we'll see that later. So just basically stirring it and just getting it to brown up before I add in the tofu, green onion, and maybe some fresh actual chopped garlic. And then of course the tofu later. Just another process. Well, as things are cooking, I cut up the medium firm and firm tofu as they can keep their texture, while leaving the soft one later for the very last, as that one easily disintegrates. But pretty much, once this is fully well done, the meat is well cooked, add in the soft tofu in the very last, and then green onions at the very last so that it keeps its greenness. And that's pretty much it for mapo tofu. And now you have the finalized mapo tofu with all the tofu, bison beef, the sauce, the chili sauce, and green onions, and I also add in a couple of fresh garlic in there, just give it a more fresh garlic taste. And that's pretty much it for mapo tofu. Right now I'm just letting it simmer. Sure, the green onions might lose its, chlorophyll, green coloring a little bit, but just to make sure that everything is, fully cooked and safe for consumption, I am going to let it simmer and let it cook for a little bit long period of time so that I can make sure that nothing goes wrong. And that's pretty much it for mapo tofu. So now just let it simmer for however I want it to simmer. And then next will be the soy sauce chicken, which I need to clean out this pot once this is done. So for my soy sauce chicken, I like to use chicken thighs. Whatever, I use Japanese rice sake, but any cooking rice wine will be fine. A lot of soy sauce, kikoman, and a lot of brown sugar. I don't know too much about the ratio, but I tend to, it's usually I'll just kind of have almost like same amount of soy sauce to almost the same amount of alcohol, rice wine, and have a helping amount of brown sugar. So I don't really have much of a measuring tool, so I'm just gonna do it as it is. It looks about right for now. Yeah, with all that soy sauce, typically Typically now I add enough brown sugar so I don't really smell too much of the saltiness. So it's might add more later because I'm doing like a lot of chicken thighs. But definitely I can smell too much of the soy sauce saltiness in the pot, so I'm going to add a lot of brown sugar. One moment. There we go. Brown sugar wise, I'll heap an amount. Don't really have a hands to hold this, but oh well. This is not enough. So I'm going to have to do like, truthfully, almost more than half of the sugar in here will be in here as the sauce. So I would say about, I don't know, it's like 2 cups, 2.5, I guess, brown sugar. Basically what I'm doing right now is just making the sauce and then marinate them, or let the thighs chicken sit in the sauce, and then once it's marinated for a good hour or two, then I'll start just boiling and simmering it for long periods of time until the chicken is completely cooked. So as you can see, I dumped a lot of sugar in there, and right now I'm just giving it a good stir so the alcohol, the soy sauce, and the brown sugar can all be somewhat evenly distributed. The alcohol is only there to just really marinate through the chicken thighs, and also just basically just give this marinade a little bit just more dilution so that it's not just too salty with the soy sauce or too sweet with the brown sugar. It's kind of like a medium. I'm just judging this by smell, but I think I have a little bit too much alcohol in there and not enough soy sauce. But you know what, the alcohol will get evaporated once you start boiling it and simmering it. Sugar wise, I think I'm good for now, but since I'm trying to do a whole big lot right now, so I'm trying to get all the chicken thighs in here. Alrighty. So basically I'll let this sit there for a good hour or two before I start boiling and simmering it for a couple hours. But since I have too much thighs, I need to do another batch, but basically I'll just add on more soy sauce, brown sugar, and some rice alcohol for my second batch, or the other thighs that I haven't cooked yet. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to let this sit for about an hour or hour and a half-ish for a little bit, and then just start cooking it. But basically it's more of a just let it simmer for as long as you can after marinating it. So, currently just of course try to cover as much as you possibly can, but once you start cooking it, everything will start constrict, and then these parts of the thighs that are not in the sauce will definitely get into the broth. Yeah, alright, so start cooking within an hour or so, or however long you want to marinate it. see you guys later. Alright, so it's been about an hour. Seems to have a good marinated thighs. So it's time to start simmering. Yeah, start to get a boil and then simmer. Basically just keep it simmering. The second batch might get diluted because all the soy sauce and the broth and the brown sugar gets absorbed by the first batch, so the second batch you might need to fill in a little bit more of each. But yeah, marinated good enough. Time to just turn on the flames. And just let it cook. And well, see you in another hour or two. Simmering for almost 45 minutes ish. Yeah, just have to keep on simmering until it turns really dark brown. That's when it's good. Well, more than an hour, but this is still not dark enough. Well, gotta still simmer. Still not simmered long enough. It's getting there. Yeah. Still need to simmer a little bit more, but it's getting there. Maybe another hour, hour and a half, and then I'll do my second batch. Not bad, not bad at all. Okay, I'll say this is decent enough, but I usually will simmer a lot longer until it's like completely dark brown, which is probably another hour of simmering. But since I'm short on time, this is good enough for now. I didn't have to do the second batch, and then the problem with the second batch is that with the chicken currently already fully cooked, the oil and I need to fill up on a little bit of soy sauce and some of that brown sugar due to the first batch taking most of the. Yeah, you can definitely see that the chicken's ready. Well, it's tender. It does come off to me, but I definitely would say I would probably do another half an hour to an hour to actually like really just easily break off the bone. But I'm short on time, so let's just say first batch is good. Just doing a second batch and add in a little bit of the alcohol, brown sugar, and soy sauce. As I said, the alcohol really is just rice alcohol, cooking rice alcohol. It doesn't have to be fancy, but I use the fancy one for no reason, just because. Alright, that's pretty much it. And I'll put these in our nice little mapo tofu with rice and sell to my friend tomorrow. Yep. All I do is just add in the chicken and we're good to go. As you can see, the insides are still white, which is not really good because it's supposed to be soaked all the way through. So that's what I'm saying. Like, probably want to simmer another half an hour to an hour, but I think that's also because I don't have that much soy sauce in there. So I don't know. Up to you. And there's my mapo tofu and soy sauce chicken with rice.